Line variations. If you'll notice on your paper, none of your boxes specify that you have to have a specific line like your last worksheet. It just says that you have to have different lengths and different having them different sizes with length. That could be that you could start with vertical lines in your box, and you could create some kind of pattern with those lines that go all the way across your box. Because remember, you have to fill in your box when you're working. Maybe on this one you want to do something that's diagonal, and you're going to have different sizes of diagonal lines in this box. You can make a pattern where they change and they continue. You can have them going in different directions as long as you have a variety of your sizes that are long. And remember, you're making a pattern. And then you can do something different in this box as well. Now, this one's a little tricky. You have to be careful with it because you want to make sure that you are doing thick and thin and medium as well. If you take and you do something and you draw the actual double line to create what is actually a shape, if you do not color that or shade that in, you have a shape. In order for it to be a thick line, you have to make sure that you are giving your shading to it. And they can be all kinds of sizes. You can make them all the same size. You can make them different sizes, but you have to color them in, shade them in. You also have to remember that even though you make some that are really, really, really wide, and you make some that are medium, and you make some that maybe look like this, that you still have a line that almost looks like it's thick. So you probably need to make sure that somewhere on here you have some thin lines as well as you're working, okay? And then remember, you shade those in. Texture is a little trickier. You already know what smooth looks like. That's the actual pencil. Okay, you could do these again on here, and you could make a line that's curved, for example, that is smooth. Again, there's no direction that states what you have to do in regards to your types of line in each of your boxes. You have to have 3 different types of designs. If you want to do something that's rough, you could do a line that looks like either one of these, or you could do something that looks like this, where you have a line and it's just kind of a hazy, hatchy looking thing. It's really up to you. You can also create actual texture with your line if you want to do something like this, because there's lots of ways we use line to create texture, from fur to hair to cactus needles, rocks, different things like that. Your next box is direction, and you have to have a vertical, a horizontal, and a diagonal. So that means each box should be a different direction. And again, you can choose if it's an actual vertical line. You can choose if you're mixing that with a curve. You can choose if you're mixing that with the zigzags, but it has to be directions. And then if you wanted to change lengths or width, you can, but this is about filling the box with different line directions. Then you have to have one that's horizontal, and it could be zigzags. It could be a mixture of zigzags with straight. It could be all zigzags, all curved, all horizontal. We can't do diagonal here, and we can't do vertical here. And then the same thing with your diagonal. You can decide how that's going to look. What kind of designs do you want? And make sure that you're creating lines that are going in that direction without having any shapes form. Anything you want to do there. These are fun because they can do all kinds of things. We're only dealing with, of course, curved lines. They can be any kind of line that's changing direction and filling that up. So you have to have a gradual curve. You have to have a wavy curve. It can be horizontal. It could be vertical. They can cross over each other, and you have to show spirals. They can be all the same. They can be small. They can be big. They can be really large. It is up to you, but you have to also have spirals, and you can do those in any order that you want. Line variations.